So, is running a serial number on a gun when you find it legally where it's supposed to be at, is that considered a search?
I love it. So look, Brooks, before you go away, first of all, what state are you in?
I'm in South Carolina.
I love it. So let's say you make a traffic stop on a person for speeding. They have a firearm, and you want to detain the firearm during the traffic stop. Is that kind of where we're going with this?
Yes, sir.
And they have let's just say they have no concealed weapons concealed weapons permit, and you have no reason to believe they're a prohibited person. They're not abnormally nervous. They're me and Mike. Okay, we love our guns, and you want to seize it during the traffic stop, and you want to add it to the NCIC, or you want to run on your MDT. That's the question.
Yes, sir.
I love it. All right, I have your answer, Mike. What do you think?
Well, can you see it? It's in plain view.
Okay, so that's the first question.
When you open up the glove box and you're retrieving paperwork out the glove box, and you didn't tell me there was a gun in there, yes, I can see it.
Okay, so I think, are you fine with also seizing this gun?
Yes.
It's not hard to seize guns during traffic stops, constitutionally.
No, it's fine.
The vast majority of states are going to allow you to seize it, even if the person is not even if you have no reason to believe they're a prohibited person, you can seize it as a matter of safety.
Yes.
So the gun is in the serial number is in plain view. Now running it.
Don't extend the stop to do it, but you can run it.
Well, what if it does extend the stop? What if we look at the body cam and or we can prove through dispatch that it added a minute, 45 seconds to run that serial number through NCIC?
Because like you said, the person is, no indicators that are prohibited. There's no reason they shouldn't have it, and is as a HIV. So are you running a new investigation?
Are you conducting a new investigation to run that serial number?
To run that serial number. I think it's going to be your kind of.
I think the answer is, look, I think I'm actually pretty confident in this answer. I think the answer is that you can't add time to the stop, because there's no reason to, with the scenario we gave, there's no reason to believe that person is committing any crime. And you cannot chase daisies here. You can't chase other, hunches.
Just start looking for stuff to see what you find.
That's right. You can't just start chasing these other, these investigations and adding time to the traffic stop. So, it might be one issue to ask the people, what they do for work, or, hey, that's a nice car. When's the last time you waxed it? Versus, running a gun to be stolen property.
Yeah.
And so
without something,
about some reason. So there's two pieces of advice here.
John, that's something I was going to bring up here in a second, talk about manipulation.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. So, because that does happen with some of these guns. Now,
let's add drugs to the mix.
Go ahead.
Let's add drugs to the mix. Say, locate a little bit of, cocaine in the center console. Whenever he lifts it up looking for his registration, and it's clearly in the glove box, and then he opens up the glove box and there's a gun in there.
I'm good with it. Now, the reason I'm good with it is for several reasons, but one of them is, but isn't it illegal in South Carolina to have guns and gun and drugs?
Depends on how much you got.
Okay, well, at least you have reasonable suspicion.
You have an investigation.
Yeah. But also it is, look, you're not a federal agent, unless you're a TFO, a task force officer. But
yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, look, I don't think the courts are going to have a lot of heartburn when you have a gun and drugs. Like, at least the guy is involved in criminal activity.
There's determinations to made. Could they be a prohibited person in these circumstances? You've got investigation on there.
Look, sure. I'm good with that. I don't think the guy that's, we crashed. Okay.
Hey.
So we don't have, like, the guy that has nothing going on except speeding and a gun. We should not add time to the traffic stop. Now, what Mike said earlier is that there are ways to chase these hunches or to pursue these, these investigations without violating people's rights. There's 4 ways. Number 1 is consent. Hey, you got this gun. Hey, can I run this gun to make sure it's not stolen? If they say yes, they are agreeing to add time. Number 2 is multitasking. You can type and talk to dispatch at the same time. I guess you hit the mic,
Right.
That may not work. But the other one is unavoidable downtime. While you're running somebody, you also add the the serial number to dispatch for them to run. So once you get their wants history, you go back to the traffic stop, and if they also come over the radio and say, "Hey, by the way, that gun you gave me is stolen," maybe that help. But you might be tying them up a little bit.
A little bit. Maybe.
And then the final one is the backup officer, which is the best choice
Mhm.
because the backup officer can do whatever they want without violating people's rights. Now, the other thing, so it is a concern. You should have at least a reason to believe that the person, may be prohibited and so forth.
Mhm.
Now, the manipulation issue. So imagine that you have I remember on the traffic stop, I had it doesn't matter, but it was a Ruger like P95. Good gun, by the way. In fact, I owned one. I sold it. And what they say is never sell.
Hold on. You sold a gun?
I've sold.
I thought you kept them all.
I've sold 3 guns in my life, and every single one I regret.
Oh man.
In fact, one of the best one was a H&K USP 45 tactical. That gun today is worth like 16. I mean, just to buy it new is $1,600, and I sold it for like $700. But I needed crack, and it was
It's a bad habit, my friend.
at the time. It was worth it.
Yeah.
But so when I had this P95, it had a Hogue grip on it, which is that rubber.
Okay.
And the serial numbers on Rugers are on the grip, not underneath the. So I had to lift it up to look at the serial number. Now, when I ran that, I had no reason to believe this guy was unlawful. In fact, he had a CCW, which is a concealed weapons permit in Nevada, and I still ran it. And I didn't think about it at the time, but
Right.
going back and looking back at it, I don't think that was lawful.
The search.
It's a search. I'm manipulating it. I'm taking up time. There's no reason to believe he's a primitive person. Take a Glock. The Glocks have serial numbers underneath the accessory rail.
Mhm.
You take off the light. It's a search.
It is the search.
Now the new Glocks have the serial number on the barrel.
Right.
So maybe that's a better way to slice it.
What about in a holster? What do you think?
Yeah. So Jonathan says it's a habit, nothing intentional, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Actually, what matters is it a search under the Fourth Amendment? Am I intentionally trying to manipulate it? And that's the part, right?
You think same thing in a holster? Taking it out of the holster to see it?
Yeah. Mario says U.S. versus Jones. Now, here's the deal. I'm good with the holster.
Right.
Why do you think? I'm good. Let's say we unload it. Are you good with
Okay.
are you good with unloading the gun?
Yeah.
You think the law requires it?
Yes, but I got a caveat to that.
Okay, tell me.
Don't do it all the damn time.
Yeah.
There's people that this country we could carry guns and what?
Welcome, Kenneth.
What am I looking? What am I looking at?
What are
here?
you looking at here?
Kenneth Flies.
What-
Kenneth.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
But be reasonable about it. Like I'm not gonna when I make a stop, someone tells me, "Hey, I'm CCW, I'm a law-abiding citizen."
Get choked up on it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna.
I
I'm
know.
gonna take apart their gun.
Hey,
I'm not gonna.
we're gonna get Kenneth on the line.
I'm gonna be reasonable. about
But
it.
can I tell you something? Like when I became more mature in
Mhm.
law enforcement, and people said, "Hey, I'm a CCW holder. I have a
Mhm.
firearm." I want to give them like a fist bump. I said, "You know what? You've gone through a background check.
Mhm.
You're telling me you have a gun. Your hands are 10 and 2. You ain't the guy I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the gangbanger that doesn't tell me shit about his gun. You know what I'm saying?
That's a totally
And show it
different
off a
story.
little bit. Look at this chrome piece.
Yeah,
Which,
it's a
all
totally
right,
different story.
get Kenneth on the line.
What have you said? You don't go for yours.
Hey, you don't go for yours, I won't go for
I'll
mine.
go for mine, right? So we have an accord. That's what we have right now.
We have an understanding.
We've got an understanding here.